successful people that I have, they never skip a class. They can feel below the weather, they can be busy, they can have some, they usually keep the class at the same timing. They also very humble, and this is honestly surprising sometimes, especially some of them. I'm thinking about two of them, one Indian, one Russian. They actually multi-billionaire in Dubai, in several countries. They can easily buy plane, and actually some of them had plane before. But they kind of actually show like they are grateful. They are grateful in terms that they respect people, they treat people in a very nice way, whereas some of the people who are not that successful, and so they are not that successful, and they like to pretend to be more successful than what they actually are. They usually have attitudes and.
So you're in for an absolute treat today in terms of the guest we have is Allaoua. I'm going to try and pronounce his name correctly. We've hashed this 3 times. Allaoua is known as a yogapreneur. He's got a wealth of business experience and a really interesting backstory, and he's here to share his knowledge and experience today. He's also written a book, which he's very kindly brought to me today. We'll start with that. What's the book?
All right. Hi, Charlie. Hi. Thank you for having me. And you pronounce it very well. Yeah. Allaoua. Perfect. So yeah, this is my my book that I co-write with one of my students, like Ragda. Guru. Guru, it's interesting word. Gu means darkness, and Ru means light. So basically in Sanskrit, Guru, it's anyone who helps you go from darkness to light, who enlighten your life with knowledge, with spirituality, with guidance. So I really believe we all guru to someone, to community, to individuals at some point, and we all need guru, so everyone needs guidance. So this book, I will have a pleasure to make a personal dedication for you, but basically, yeah, we're dealing with like 10 chapters, purpose, fear, lust and grief, healing, love, destiny, faith, fatherhood, darkness, and light. So it's basically a testimony, it's a conversation, a tete-a-tete conversation with Ragda about those topics, and how yoga and how my new life as a yogi, it's been 10 years now, but I still consider it a switch, my new yoga journey helped me understand all these topics and all these aspects of life.
Something very interesting to go into straight off of that is very interesting you talk about the dark and the light from Gu and Ru and Guru. Mm-hmm. Dubai has a very interesting effect, I think, on people that I almost think it's like super, like dopamine driven overwhelm of like supercars, all these big buildings everywhere, attractive women everywhere, whatever it is. And I notice a lot with my entrepreneurial friends that they feel stressed out here as well as I do sometimes. Is that something you see that's common? That like everyone mentions they like sometimes going away from Dubai and they feel more relaxed. And do you think that that's maybe where some people maybe lack maybe a part, like the Ru part, the light part of their life that maybe yoga could fill?
That's actually a very interesting point. I guess like like every challenging place and every big city, Dubai has I would say both sides, but it's really up to our perspective. You know, we can look at all these successful stories, people around, because I guess we have an accumulation of billionaires in Dubai, so it can be an inspiration. So you can actually find the guidance and the inspiration to want the same and drive yourself towards that, to have as much success as those people, you know. But if you don't, and in a time of failure or in a time where things doesn't happen exactly the way you want, you can experience high stress, some mental health issue can drag you to pre-depression. And I guess it's the same in all big city and all very fast-paced city. So I believe you can find your light in Dubai through yoga, but definitely when you travel, if you have the opportunity to travel like once or twice a year, spending some time away from the towers, connecting with the trees, connecting with sea, is definitely helping reassessing like everything in your life, I guess. So yeah, it's an interesting question, but yeah, it's really a matter of how you see things. I always see Dubai as a motivation. And especially I'm teaching to extremely successful people, Forbes-listed entrepreneurs. I'm with them since many years now, CEOs. And so for me, it's always been an inspiration, you know.
You mentioned working with Forbes-listed CEOs and some of the highest end entrepreneurs in the world. What are some of the common traits you've maybe seen from those people and maybe you've learnt from them? You must have taken bits and pieces from them.
Honestly, I can write a book about it. It's they have
Is that book 2?
book 2, yeah. Maybe book 3. Yeah. I'm working on the second one already, but actually it can be a very good topic of you get inspired. You see they have the similar type of stress. That means when you're successful, you aiming always to better, and yoga helped them in the sense that it ground them. Honestly, all the most successful people I've met here, and I've been practicing with them, and I'm the teacher since many years, they're actually extremely interesting as a character. They have something special. I kind of feel they found the gifts, they found the Dharma, the purpose, what they're good at, and they have a common quality. Discipline will be one of the main things. For example, all the most successful people that I have, they never skip a class. They can feel below the weather, they can be busy, they can have they usually keep the class at the same timing, and it's very common to those CEOs that I'm teaching to. I have also another type of clientele, like sports people or celebrities, and they're usually more easygoing, and all the CEO are usually extremely strict in the schedule. So it might be one of the recipe of success, to keep your things
regimented.
So they also very humble, and this is honestly surprising sometimes, especially some of them. I'm thinking about 2 of them, one Indian, one Russian. They actually multi-billionaire in Dubai, in several countries. They can easily buy plane, and actually some of them had plane before. But they kind of actually show like they are grateful. They are grateful in terms that they respect people, they treat people in a very nice way, including myself. I never had any issue with them, like, oh, you're just a trainer or a yoga teacher. They actually ask me a lot of advice as well, because you get to know them, you get to know their families, and I find this very, very interesting and as a common quality. Whereas some of the people who are not that successful, and so they are not that successful, and they like to pretend to be more successful than what they actually are. They usually have attitudes, and so I guess if you see someone pretty disciplined, with some integrity and laid back, respectful, I guess it's a real key of success. Yeah.
With that, you get into position working with those type of clientele doesn't happen overnight. Mm-hmm. How did you get yourself and build yourself into the brand to then be able to do that and build such a big audience to do that? And something that's probably quite a strange niche as like a French dude who does yoga in Dubai.
Yeah, this is a niche, and is actually one of my key specialty, my core competency. And I remember the first time I wanted to teach, I met this South African guy, and so I told him, man, I've just been graduated. I'm not practicing yoga since very long, but I'd like to try and teach. So, man, you're French, it's not that common. Okay, you hired, So I think it was a very nice advantages, or I turn it as an advantages. But yeah, long story short, basically, I'm coming from a business background. I had company here in Dubai for almost 10 years. I'm here since 18 years now. It was a very successful company. I had like 40 stores in Dubai. I was a kids fashion designer, so had a brand called Cute Edition. Many employees, pretty good lifestyle as a single man, wealthy young single man in Dubai, as you can imagine. So party a lot, and a lot of networking, a lot of excess as well. Excess into work. I didn't really have a healthy lifestyle, I guess, and this was the calling. This is where my yoga journey started. I get some heart accidents, pre-heart attack condition. So I stayed in ICU for like 4 days, and it was actually the switch. I was in my bed, in my hospital bed. I didn't know if my heart was gonna make it or not. I was wondering what would be my future now. Am I like disabled? Do I need to take treatment? Can I work out? All these questions. And I was like, okay, I'm 31 years old, quite successful in a way, living on a palm in a big villa. I have good friends. I'm partying a lot. Successful business, but still I'm in a bed in a hospital, and is that really success, you know? So that was the switch, really. And from this day, I decided that everything needs to change. I stopped smoking. I started taking care more of my health. And then I met my wife, who became my wife later, which is here. Hi. It's her birthday.
It's his birthday.
Birthday, my love. And my wife was doing yoga for 10 years. And she told me you should try yoga. I told her, no way. My background, I was training with the Russian Special Forces, some former retired Spetsnaz, in a martial art called Sistema, for 15 years to 20 years now. And I was not at all into the yoga world, you know, like leggings and Om, and it's absolutely not my vibe. I was more into like boxing, and so I told her no. I showed a lot of reticence, and you know what it is, she was very convincing. So I tried. I didn't like it. Still, I carry on because I felt it was actually what I needed at this stage to rehab, to understand myself. I started meditation, which was very hard for me. You know, I was very, like active, so I needed something to settle. So it's a very long story, but basically, to make it short, I passed the teacher training for my wife. Actually, it was a gift for her because I didn't expect to be a graduated yoga teacher after like a few months, maybe 6-7 months of practice. I found an amazing teacher who told me, you found your Dharma. Dharma means your purpose. So it was very funny for me back in the days because I had the flexibility of a tree. You know? I was very stiff and very agitated, and I was like, oh, the guy's like, just try to be nice. But I think he saw something in me that can be more linked to my teaching skills rather than my yoga abilities back in the days. So I believe I'm a good teacher, and I think he saw that before. So I was even teaching things that I could not like perform, but I could understand, I guess. I was reading a lot. So this was my beginning, how I started yoga. So now to answer your question, it was a long introduction, but just like to put things into place. It's not easy when you're wealthy and when you have pretty big salary. Plus, it was my company, so I was dealing with CEOs, but as a CEO, not as a yoga teacher. Give up everything to start doing yoga and making like 100 dirham a class when you start.
What did you do with the business? Did you sell it?
It took a year. It took a year for me to decide. I didn't technically sell it. I put it in sleeping mode, so I just give ourselves 1 year to try to sell as much as we can from the stock that we have, give some time for the employees to be like reallocated. I try to relocate all my managers. And I still technically own the company, but I'm not doing anything. I close the stores, I close the deals. I keep there. Maybe one day it will come back. I don't know. But technically I switch it off smoothly, for the next year. And I had savings, and this is what made the difference, I guess. I didn't want to embrace the life of a yoga teacher, honestly, especially there is no money there. When you're a fitness professional or a wellness professional, it's very hard to see yourself as having a sustainable business, especially when you used to luxury lifestyle. It's not like you start from the bottom and
you never knew it.
Never knew it, but when you fly business class and when it's very hard to fly eco, again. So I was like, is it something that I can do? This was the real question. Can I be successful, more successful than what I did with the fashion industry, in the wellness industry? I was not wondering too much. I was just exploring because I had about a year of savings that I could live a normal life, without working too much. And I was more focusing on myself, my health, my mental health, my objective. And step by step, I was teaching, and I kind of like it. I had a complicated relationship with yoga. But I like to teach. I like to share. And I stay in yoga because of the anatomical parts of yoga. I started being passionate about the human body, the biomechanics, the kinetic chain, the fascia, the chakras, all the link between the energies and the actual organs and the actual muscles. So this was my main thing. So I was really looking for something to create something different into the yoga industry. And then this is what it's interesting now. How did I make it faster than some other, maybe like yoga teacher. I had no name. I had very limited skills in yoga. I was like in acquisition of the skills. But I had savings. So I was like, I need to invest. So how to invest in a smart way? So if I start making myself a brand and I start investing and paying money, Google ad, whatever, it might be a waste of money because it will take a lot, you know, to actually get the credit that you need to establish your brand. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna reach out to all the best yogis in the world. Okay, I basically look at all the thing I had in hand. So Dubai, few savings, and the will of building a strong brand, you know. Like Instagram was also a pretty big tool. I had back in the days 5,000 followers, I guess, something like that. But I was like, okay.
And how many followers do you have now for context?
500,000, I guess.
Yeah.
400 something. And the thing is like, if you don't know how to do, you know, like outsource. So I outsource my own yoga skills, you know what I mean? So I reach out to all the best yoga teachers in the world. Tell them, guys, you want to come to Dubai? I fly you in. I take care of your hotel, and I guarantee you a certain amount of cash. So, you know, we're going to do workshop, masterclass, and if we have 2 people, at the end of the day, you still go back home.
Still get paid.
You still get paid, you know. So, and I was putting down a quite good amount, close to $10,000. So when you call people and tell them, guys, you know, you want to come and do yoga, of course, I mean, they come to Dubai, they get the, you know, flight tickets, everything. So I was like, it's an investment that cost me anywhere between 12 and 15K every time I bring someone. But now I need to leverage that, you know. So I'm going to all the yoga studio in Dubai, the best one, tell them, look, do you want to train with Sean Phelps, with Jacob, with Jonah Case, with all these big names? And of course, like, yeah, we want. So okay, so you just like take 10% of everything that we make, you know, and then you help us full force on your Instagram, on your database, you send this and that. So the genius there is like, I was not promoting them only, I was promoting us. So I was actually, because I'm a fashion designer, I have designing skill. So I was designing the visual on Photoshop with the face of the celebrity, you know, like international yoga instructor, and me, who was like a very big gap in between. But matter of fact, so associating yourself with people who actually have been doing that for 20 years or more, are very successful, you get access to the best studios. So studios start associating yourself, your name, with the name of those people. So you see, we say in French,
perceived authority, right?
Exactly. So we say in French, nul n'est prophète en son pays. That means no one is the prophet in his own land. The problem when you a yoga teacher or fitness professional, you actually have more value like abroad. When you go to another country, you know, you go to US, for example, you are the yoga teacher from Dubai, you know. But in Dubai, you are one of the yoga teachers. Yeah. You know? So I managed to use a bit of the aura, you know, being a local yoga teacher. And that was I think the main thing. So the first few ones were hardly break even, but still I didn't lose a lot of money, to be honest. And after, I was like repeating the experience every quarter. So at least 3 or 4 times a year, bringing a big name of yoga. And then we were doing masterclass, then workshop, then we extended to events. So event, I was going to see some developers. Okay, we can do a yoga event for you, bring 200-300 people, but it will cost you 50,000 dirham or like 100,000 dirham. But we take care of everything basically. So I was making money out of that as well. Then retreats. So retreats, it's quite sustainable, good income, because you stay a week with people who actually pay for a teacher training, you know. So we did it in some hotels. We actually were booking the full hotel, you know. So it was like, this is how it grows, you know. Now, this is the 3 collaterals. Collaterals number 1, your name start being known in the studio. So they start offering you classes, you know, which they didn't know few weeks, few months ago, you know. Then usually those people, they have a pretty big amount of followers. So you spend your day with them, you know, because you are your reference in Dubai. They don't know like much people, so they want to spend time with you, so you get to know them. And every time they do stories, and here's my friend Allaoua from Allaoua. followers start like piking, especially back in the days. This was before COVID, so the social network was much more powerful. You're putting like one story, you can get 5,000 followers overnight, So can you imagine this for like weeks? It was really, really and the I would say the other best thing, which is like more personal, is like your yoga skills. So because you spend time with those people who've been practicing yoga for 20 years, you learn in few days what they've been figured out for the past few years. So it's 100% win, So you think you're wasting money. You first learning a lot. So instead of you traveling and paying for teacher training or whatever, you actually have it at home. You get almost free like Instagram campaign, and then you get your name into your markets. And plus you make money, because when this turned to be a successful thing, because I was the only one who was doing that. A lot of people love to do, they were trying to bring people out. But because it's expensive and it's not guaranteed, what if you bring the best yoga teacher, but you don't fill up? Who's going to pay for, So that was the idea behind it. So I guess this was really unique, and this is an advice that I like to give to people. Put your money where it's worth it and where people don't put. See, I was the only one who was doing that, and honestly, in a year or two, my name gets in the market very fast, and I've been approached by Lululemon. I was the ambassador for 4 years, and when the ball starts rolling, then everything starts to come you become an authority, step by step, The other problem now is my practice was not up to my reputation, because my reputation went very fast. So, and then COVID came, and it was a pretty good time for me. So I was training for a year non-stop. I had to catch up what I was promising to people. So once
your reputation was ahead of your skill set.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I was a good teacher, but a lot of things I was teaching, I could not do it. So this was not possible. No, I had to be.
So you were in the class teaching things, but you couldn't do it.
Yeah. I was explaining the methods and try to avoid too much demonstration, because I was still stiff. Because the body needs some time. You cannot learn those skills overnight, especially in terms of flexibility. So it was a part of my journey, and the training, I intensify my training after. Usually it's all the way around. People, they train for many years, and after, when they feel confident, then they start going to the world and show their skills. And it's all the way around. I get known before I get the skills. I had skills, but nothing compared to what people was expecting. So now that I did the hardest work, I could not disappoint people. So for a year, I was training 6 hours a day and night, and I think I get my skill.
So one of the things that people struggle with in that scenario is imposter syndrome, because they feel like I'm not worthy or good enough to handle these clients or have the success because I'm not good at the skill, and they get imposter syndrome. Is that something that you found at that period, or do you have ways that you'd recommend people overcome that?
I was not alone. I wasn't an imposter. I was a yoga teacher. And I was actually I was piggybacked by the experience of my co-teacher, So I didn't pretend to be the best. I was bringing the best, and I was just pretend to assist.
Facilitator.
Yeah, I was like a curator, facilitator. So I never feel at any time any syndrome of being an imposter. And when you start doing so much events, the people that start coming into the event will give you actually the confidence that you actually make a change, and you may actually found your purpose, because you see your purpose in the eyes of others. It's not in your own eyes, when you do your thing, you're not I'm the best at this,
But it's the fulfillment when you help someone else.
Sorry?
It's the fulfillment when you help someone else.
Yeah, and when you make a change, and when they actually voice it and they tell you, this is the best class I ever had, or you changed my life, or, so this is what gives you the real strong confidence that, I can never say I'm the best, and it's not, I don't say it's not my objective. I want to learn as much as I can, and I want to practice as much as I can. But it's not an objective. But when someone, especially someone with experience, who've been to different training and see different teacher and tell you this is different, and that might make you one of the best, this is a lot of thing, a lot of meaning. And you feel this fulfillment much more than anything else.
Would you say that one of the secrets for success then for you is really getting yourself around people who are a lot further ahead of you?
That's exactly what it means. And lately I saw Shaquille O'Neal. It was a pretty.
You teaching him yoga now as well?
No, I wish if he wants to. If you're looking at this, I'm ready to know. I've been dealing with many athletes, but I was mentioning Shaquille O'Neal for his business skill. He says something like, "When I do my company, I need to be the stupidest people in like around the table." And he's right. You want to surround yourself with people that know better than you, that did it before, that do what you hope to do. So. It's not a bad thing to be the most humble in the room in terms of experience. Actually, you learn much more.
That's why, like, one of my favorite sayings is a genius doesn't have great answers, he asks great questions.
Yeah,
I always ask
that's
questions.
That's very true. It's all about question. I think you start being dumb when you think you have answers. And even when you give answers, especially in yoga, you give guidance. Guru, it's not someone who has answers. It's like someone who been there. So you do your own answers and you guide people to find their own way as well. So if someone tell you, I know, it's dangerous people. Dangerous person, they think they know. That make them dangerous because they know.
And that's arrogance and complacency almost together, do you think?
Yeah, it could easily switch into like arrogance,
Yeah.
It's, see, there is no black or white. It's always gray, you cannot, you have to feel confident. But
Perception.
Yeah. You have to feel confident, but not be arrogant. And that's what's hard, especially when you start mastering something.
Would you say almost certain rather than confident would be a way? Like you certainty in what you do?
You have to believe in yourself. I guess that's the main thing. And even my agent, she told me, "Oh, you're very confident." And she make it sound like it's something little too much. I told her I am confident about things that I've did before. The success I had when I do event, when we did the Guinness World Record, when I've been teaching yoga to 6,000 people at the same time, from nowhere and from nothing. This is an achievement. So my achievements give me my confidence, and my aspiration of doing something always bigger give me my hope. But it's not arrogance, not at all. Really, I am. It's hard to say I'm humble, but I'm really. Stay humble, because even if I get successful on some event, something, I still teach my classes. I still show up, even if sometimes there's
ground
no.
you.
Yeah, it's very important, because this is my see. If tomorrow I become multi-billionaire, I still gonna give classes to the same people, because I don't do it for the money or just for the money. I just do it because it's what I like to do now.
I think we also live in a world now where a huge amount of people lack confidence, and also some of that sometimes from comparison syndrome. Particularly, probably Dubai is a hotbed for that. And for me, one of the main things that I think that really helps people to get confidence is you stack so many wins that you have so much undeniable proof that you're then really good at whatever it is you do. And I was a young man who was very unconfident until I just focused on achieving and doing things, and then suddenly someone asked me, when I was in Paris actually last week, he was like, "Do you ever get imposter syndrome?" I was like, not at all anymore, but maybe a year ago, yes. Because I now feel like the point where I've ticked all the boxes in the things I've done before. I feel very confident. If I was to go and star in a Hollywood movie I've never acted, then that would be a new realm, right?
But I think it's good still to always try something new,
That's the fun.
Yeah, that's the fun. You always want to put yourself in danger. Also with respect of your image, of your career. I'm not saying you have to try everything, regardless, but the learning zone starts out of the comfort zone. So if you control something too much, then I don't think you can really grow. So it's a balance, like life is a balance. Yoga is a balance. Everything's about balancing your best parts and your worst parts. Your trauma with what you fill up your life with, with your success and your achievement. The thing that can actually bring you money and things that can bring you happiness. If it's both, it's the best place. But basically, this is where you want to put the cursor, the marker. You want to put it right in the middle. It can change over time. Let's say if you look at your life like a stick, if you have a lot of good at some point and not too much bad, maybe the balance will start going down. So you can just change the cursor not to go too arrogant, and be always grateful, So if you have less good and you start having health problem, family problem, then also you can change the marker to find the balance. Yeah. So I really believe it's just about where you put yourself and how you can balance the difficulties with the opportunities, the good things that are happening to you, with the hard things that you have to go through.
Do you think, probably in particular young men, a lot probably people listening to this, chase money and maybe status thinking it will bring happiness and fulfillment, but when they get there it's then not what they expected? As you were a young man who had money and status.
Yeah, it was it was not about money. Money, it's always a consequence of what you do. You know, it's a mean. If you see money other than the mean, then maybe you lost your path, really. If you run after money only, maybe you will miss the points. And it's not because you run after money that money will, run towards you. And you have also to, you have all these talks and all these podcasts about manifestation and abundance. Yeah, we live in a world of abundance. Yeah, you can manifest, but not by prayer or something. I believe manifestation, it has to go with discipline, vision, find your true calling and gear up for that, like understand what you want to do. Find the right people. I guess one of the real wealth in life is not just the money. Okay, the money paid the bills and allowed you some freedom, really. But the real wealth is your family, the network, the relationship you have, the friendship. This is the access. There's some people, they are multi-billionaire, they cannot access some private club. They can actually buy the club, buy the building, buy the street, but they cannot pass through the door. So access is...
Why is that? Because you're too famous? Or security?
No, it's some club, for example, in London, they have a wait list if you want to be like a member, and you need to fill up some criteria, and money is just one of the criteria. But it's not all. If you're not, if you don't belong to the intelligentsia, if you're not a role model in terms of development, there is a lot of criteria, like according to some clubs. But it's not because you have money that give you access to everything. It can facilitate things, but not always. So the switch I had is I start seeing life, instead of looking at life through the performance mindset. So I have to be successful, I have to do that, I have to do that. I start looking at life with the mindset of the exploration. So it will ease failure, So whatever I try to do now, I cannot really fail. I try. So if it gets really successful and it brings money and it brings this and brings that, it's great. If it doesn't, probably there's something to learn into that and I need to explore something else. So it puts you in a very balanced mental health, so you're not into I don't worth it, I'm an imposter, or I cannot make it, I'm not. So of course, like everyone, and my wife can witness that. I have some moments when it's harder, especially when you have the ambition to do great things. And how many times I've been working on huge project, and I thought, yeah, that's it. This is the biggest project. This will this will change everything in this and that. But it didn't happen. Still, you have to digest it. But the sooner you digest it, the sooner you move on, the sooner you can move to the next project. So it's not about money. I would say it's about how you see things, And exploration, I guess, it's a safe way to look at things. You want to try something, try it, explore, put the effort behind it, put the strategy, but have no expectation. Whatever happens, it's up to you to turn into something positive. Okay? If you wait for something, let's say if you aim for, if you expect 100 and you get 99, you will still be disappointed for the one you don't reach out. Yeah. If you don't expect anything and you get one, this one will be 99 more generating of happiness than the 99 that you get in your failure. So it's all about perspective, really.
My issue that I see a lot of people there sometimes is they don't just do what they're supposed to do, and they don't really try to do things, and then they blame society or other people or gurus who've then helped them, and then but people aren't very good at looking internally and taking ownership and accountability.
Because it's hard. It's hard to
reflectively look at yourself,
and it's hard to do. See, we say in yoga, you avoid what you need the most. This is exactly what it is. You need to go through that. If you're not good in promoting yourself, you still have to do it. If you're not good in accountancy and whatever. I mean, we all have some pros and cons and things that we do easier and things that represent a real effort, all the way up to a trauma. There's things that we know we have to do, but we don't want to do it because it's like really like traumatizing. It's a bad experience. Honestly, I have no answer on that. I guess there is mechanism. Whatever you think you have to do, instead of looking at the bigger picture, try to fragment it and see what you can do today. This is the Japanese philosophy. You do today whatever you can do, and you try to do little more next day, like rather looking at the mountain that you have to climb, you just go,
step by step.
Like step by step. That can be something good. If you're really rejecting something and you start blaming, maybe it's not your true calling. That also can be something. And maybe you need to go through this to find out your true calling. If you would have told me a few years before me becoming a yoga teacher that I will actually become a yoga teacher, I would have laughed a lot. If you would have told me when I was in a yacht party with my friend, in like next year you're gonna be teaching yoga, I was like, yeah, right. And this will be your true calling. And maybe it's not even my true calling. Maybe I have another like revelation in a few months, in a few years. It's a part of the journey. It's a part of the path. And once again, it's where you stand. You see, if you look at this phone, if you face it, you see a rectangle. Then if you physically stand up and walk around, you will see just a line. Then if you go from the above, you see another. So the phone is the same. The object is the same. Your perspective is different. So it's like you have a Ferrari and you go to the deserts with the Ferrari. You're not using the full potential, you don't use a boat to climb a mountain, So you really have to find your place, I guess, your true calling.
Why do you think so many people struggle to fulfill their full potential? Do you think that's maybe they're not sure what if they're in the right vehicle, or if they're doing the right things? Like,
when you have a lot of possibilities, it's harder to find your path, really. And internet changed everything. The fact that you can see that some other people can do that, it can inspire you, it can guide you, it can say, I want to do like this, but it can also really play a very negative charge on your mental health. Like, everyone is doing it, I don't do it. So that's why I think social networks should be something regulated. You should not spend too much time on that. See, the way I use my Instagram, for example, I use it as a source of information to see what's happening around in the market. So I use it to promote events. I use it to keep track of what I'm doing, but I'm not on it. I don't create content. I don't, I'm trying to make a distance with this, so not to step into the virtuality, to really stay grounded and to stay...
live in the real world.
I read it as a part of my work, I don't really enjoy too much, I try to schedule things. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm not enjoying, but let's say I'm trying not to leave myself trapped into it, so it starts having a negative impact on me. This guy did that, this guy did that, this guy did that, I'm not doing that, yeah. So I'm just like, I do what I can, I do the best I can, and that's it. I don't try to, reach anything in particular. Once again, I explore, try not to expect. And so I guess this is what's happening. When you have a lot of possibilities and you're still young and you're missing skills and you're like, see, we all see that life is short. Life is short, and maybe tomorrow we'll have a car accident or I don't know what, and maybe life will change. And I can witness that when I was in my hospital bed, I didn't know what my life will be like, So I think everyone is conscious of that, and everyone is a little bit scared, but not using the time properly. You know what I mean? So back in the days, I guess our parents and our grandparents didn't have this question. They usually go to school, do this. You want to be a lawyer, a doctor, like a mechanic, like an engineer, like a baker, whatever. You had a very, very restricted scope of work. So it was easy to find what you like or what you bear. Maybe even if you're not passionate about this, actually you can bear it, and it can sustain a life, and then you can get married and get kids. Now it's so open. You can make your own work. You can create your own work.
I think that's what causes anxiety in people, because
Definitely.
they have so many options in front of them, they almost feel paralyzed and suffocated. They don't know what to do.
You name it right. It's due to like too much option. It's hard to choose. So what we can advise is choose one.
Just pick one.
Pick one. Try, explore. That's why I guess my life changed completely when I started exploring. It's not easy to explore because you don't know. It's like a big question mark. Am I doing the right thing? Am I the right, direction? But at least you try.
What's the biggest one thing you've done in your business career that's made the most difference?
In which stage?
In terms of like growing, say, your financial success.
Definitely my financial success was at this peak when I was a fashion designer. When I had this company, when I created this brand, at the beginning I wanted to do male and men fashion, like apparel, jackets, blazers, and then I switched to kids because I could feel that there is a business opportunity on that, and this was the best move because we were one of the first and only dedicated fashion brand for kids. So I hire someone from Christian Lacroix, my friend Chloé, someone from Louis Vuitton that I knew from France. So I get my French team here of designers, and we were treating the T-shirts for kids like haute couture piece, And I guess this was the main thing, and the people could see the difference. So we were doing collection based on the Arabic word, the Persian word, with a very minimalistic style, like French style. Yeah. So this was the real successful thing. So we actually innovate into an emerging market, I would say. The same with yoga. What's the future now? And this is what you're doing as well, I guess it's our time. All the fitness professional, the well-being professional, I guess it's definitely our time. The future of industry now will be mainly the well-being, so anything has to do with fitness, wellness, medical, supplements, and with like education. I guess like education will be like people now understand the need of doing their own way and see, like having their own knowledge and going to their own path. So if you do this together online, because what happened with the COVID also, we figure out that the offline can stop for some time. So it's good not to have boundaries and to be able to talk to everyone. So if you're doing a business now where you have a skill that can help people to improve their health and you can educate them online, I guess that's the future.
It also gives you the ability to market to anyone, anywhere, which gives you the ability to scale. But I think one of the things you touched on there is that most people, they think about things backwards, and I think about like you fill a couple of different buckets to be successful. So like you have to have the skills, you have to have the knowledge, which is ability to apply skills. You have to have a network like of the right people around you, and then have some like financial resources you can then put back into the system. If you generally have those four buckets filled, you can be pretty successful in anything. But I think most people stop themselves at part one, where they don't step outside of their comfort zone to try and learn a skill or speak to the guru or get someone else's different perspective, and that one flip in perspective can change their entire life, like you becoming a yoga teacher.
Yeah, and one person can change your life. So I guess like patience is very important as well. It's not because you try that you have to succeed. See, this is like yoga. I was very surprised at the beginning. A lot of people, they're paying for yoga class and they want to be instantly enlightened. Like they want to do handstand. This is not right. You don't pay.
Goals don't matter. Like winners and losers have the same goals, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's you like you pay for yoga classes to start your journey, and it's up to you to do handstand. It's up to you to It's not because you pay for something that you have to have it. So you actually just pay for the right to access knowledge and to explore. And the same thing when you do some online training, for example. It's not because you sign up for something that necessarily you will follow all the steps and then the success will
land in your lap. Yeah,
it's a lot of work. I guess you just increasing your chance of success if you want to be fair. But honestly, there's some people, they don't do anything and success kind of knock at the door because this is the path, this is the Dharma, this is the karma, this is the This is the purpose, you know, and the success can be temporary. A lot of people, they do one song, it become a hit, and then after they struggle to do an album. And success, it's something you cannot catch, like a butterfly, you know. So you can just put your finger, you know, and expect the butterfly to land on your finger. So let's say if you have many fingers, you just increase the chance of getting success. But it's not because you have thousands of options that the butterfly will actually necessarily come and land into this finger. And some people, they don't even put the finger, and the butterfly will, you know, land on the nose. You know, so it's you cannot control success. You can just try to optimize your chance, and I guess you have to with education, with patience, with discipline, with no expectation. This is keys of success, but it has many keys. And unfortunately, sometimes I think you have also to acknowledge some people don't find the success they want, or don't find the success they deserve. Maybe not in this life. I don't know. It's not due.
I would agree that, and I think it's sometimes people don't find happiness because happiness is when your expectations meet your reality, right? But I think a lot of people there have a bit of a skewed thing maybe of what they expect their reality to look like, if that makes sense in terms of expectations.
Yeah, it makes sense. But for me, happiness is no expectation.
Yeah.
You cannot find happiness if you expect. Necessarily you will be disappointed, because necessarily, or even if your expectation are met, you always, let's say if you want 1 million, if you have it, you're going to want like 10 million. Then if you want to be the best in a gym, then you're going to be the best in your city. Then this is how human brain works. And Sadhguru was actually explaining that it's very hard to satisfy a human brain and like aspiration. So expectation will just make you feel bad. So now, doing your thing with no expectation will make you feel good, even if it's not successful.
But do you think some people need expectation to make them do the thing? Otherwise, they lose the drive to do the thing.
No, you need goals. You need goals and objective, but no expectation. Like expectation is the possible outcome of your goal. You can have a goal, you know, you can reach your goal, but don't expect, you know, a particular outcome, because it's not going to happen. And if it happens, it's not going to make you happy, really.
And do you think that's a route that a lot of entrepreneurs go down? They're like, their expectations are like, I live in Dubai, I want to make $1 million a month. If I don't do that, then I'm a piece of shit, basically.
I would say smart entrepreneur will understand that expectation will actually make them feel bad. And they will definitely increase their goals. They will try to have different aim, you know, maybe like tap into different business and diversify, and that's good, honestly. But I have a big problem with expectation. This is, I really believe it's, as discipline is a key of success, expectation is a key of failure, really, for real.
And what would be the one thing you think people could take away from this to not have put expectations on themselves, or maybe not feel they have expectations put upon them from parents, partners, or whoever it might be?
If your parents expect something from you, this is their problem, not yours. So if you start, you know, modifying your life according to the expectation of others, I don't think you should. It's their problem. Life is really complicated, honestly. It's already hard to find a purpose, to find balance and stability. If you start loading every time your backpack with some bullshit, you know, it's very complicated to handle it. The heavier is your backpack, the faster you fall, you know. And when you climb the Himalaya, you climb with your head down. You don't climb with your head up. So you really have to don't expect anything, you know. I haven't found any counter example when people expecting something and then they have it or they don't have it and they're happy. Happiness is a decision, it's a perspective, you know. Why you expect some people they have less than other and they're happier. I have people, they're very rich, they're born rich, they're always in depression, they have no purpose, they don't know what they can do. They haven't tried difficulties. You can only learn in difficulties. Have you ever learned something in comfort?
You become the best version of yourself through going through really shit things that are difficult.
Exactly. It's a cycle. You go through shit, you know, then you learn, and then you find success. And then again you go through shit. Say, there is one Arab philosopher, I wonder if it's Ibn Battuta, I'm not sure 100%, but he was talking about the civilization. He said like hard time make great men. Great men, you know, make like peaceful time. Like peaceful time mean lazy man. Lazy man hard time. So it's always like this.
Cyclical. I think it's
cycle.
Easy times create weak men create hard times create great men.
Strong men, great men, yeah. And great men.
But I often think, I don't think the same, like you can't have the like lightness of day without the darkness of night. So like,
of course,
when bad things happen, I looked at that as I said that.
There you go.
And then when bad things happen, it then makes the good things better. And when I have good things happen, I always reframe to think like, embrace this, because something bad will happen eventually at some point that you have to deal with.
And you say the point. It's like being grateful and enjoy the small time of happiness. This is what you see. A lot of people mistake pleasure and happiness. I would say happiness doesn't mean that you have constant pleasure. You know, like pleasure is like momentary. You know, especially if you look into yoga, the pleasure is in the sacral chakra. It's on the abdomen. All these things. So what you eat, what you experience. If you have a lifetime of pleasure only, then your life is useless. It's really useless. You cannot find happiness into permanent pleasure. You need to have pleasure, difficulties, and you will find happiness in both. Like really, in the difficult time, when you feel you below everything, you know, and you have one phone call of a friend or your wife or your kids or anyone, like just say kind words, this is happiness. This is permanent, this is solid, you know. Like pleasure comes and goes, like you eating a sweet and then just digest it, so you just have the taste, you know. Like happiness, it's more constant, you know. It's like what makes you solid, and it's also a decision. If you're blaming yourself, if you're sorry for yourself, it's very hard to find happiness there. But if you switch your perspective and you're like, okay, let me look, now I've been focusing on whatever goes wrong. Okay, now let me look at what do I have and what's going well in my life. Bam! Immediately your mindset switches and you're like, okay, this will go. And you say it right. Either good time or bad time, it always stop. You cannot have a life of bad time. So
you know it's around the corner.
You know it's around the corner. So just hold yourself when it's difficult. Brace yourself. When it's happy moment, enjoy. Show gratitude. And I guess you can feel life. One of a very wise men who actually moved to Dubai, Master Sri Akashana, we had a conversation. And he was explaining humans are looking for three things that bring the fourth. First, health. There's nothing you can do if you don't have health. And I've been there, so really when you're sick, or when you're too busy taking care of your health because your health is not good, it's very hard to have any other, you know, perspective. Yeah. Then second comes wealth. Okay, so when you're struggling financially, it's very difficult to have any vision and any plan. Then will come relationship. So if you're healthy and rich and wealthy, if you're alone, your mental health will not be at the best, you know. So only when you fill up health, wealth, and relationship, not at the apotheosis, but when your health is correct, when your finances are balanced, and when you have friends and family, only you can find your purpose. You see? It's very hard to find your purpose or to help someone if financially you cannot pay your invoices, if your health is the center of your concern, and if you don't have any friends or you don't have anyone who actually loves you and no one to receive the love that you have to give. So this will be the three main focus, I guess. Try to balance these three things.
And that's what all of human basic needs are built around.
Yeah.
And even from a sales perspective, that's like one of the things that we teach people on is literally...
Yeah, Maslow pyramid, everything. Like Kawasaki, you know. Like how you get your income from, what is your focus, you know. So you need to have a balancing. So that's why. Now how? Destroy all the mechanisms that destroy your health. Reduce sugar, try not to smoke, don't drink too much, you know, like all these things, like try to have nutrition and lifestyle that actually will reinforce your health. But don't be obsessed with that, because a lot of people, they start getting obsessed with that also, and they don't have time for other things, you know. Or, you know, like any extreme, it's not good. So you have to balance. But still, if you're not a fitness head, just avoid things that are going to destroy your health, and do things that are going to maintain your health on the longer time. Now, for your finances, find what you're good at, and just capitalize on it, like try things, explore, have goals, have objectives, don't have expectation. Do without asking anything, just do. And relationship, create your network, find people, go out in a good way, don't just go and party and get smashed, Go in different things, like try tennis, try this, try to meet some people, go to places, go to cafe, meet your friends of your friends, because your closest network is one of the, see? And these three things, when you have a balance on these three elements of your life, it will help you find the reason why you're here, I guess, your purpose.
I think one of the interesting things you said there at the end was networking with other people, because for me, I've noticed one of the things that gives me fulfillment. I try and think of is I haven't lost a day where I spent all day just working and did nothing I enjoyed. So to make sure I do one thing every day I enjoyed. So like even yesterday I worked all day. I went for dinner with a friend that I enjoyed. So it's like you take something out every day that you enjoy, because you only have so many days left.
That's a mechanism. Every day I try to spend time with my family. I try to become useful for someone, so an act of service. I tell my wife, my kids, my sister, my family, my friend that I love them. That's very important. Every day I try to do one thing and bring money. It can be I'm preparing a future project. I start working on it at least 1 hour or 2 hours. Or something that actually just teaching a class, it also brings some income. So at least I know, like today I did something for that. And I try to do something that make me happy. It can be something simple, just have an ice cream, walk in the park, workouts, and if it's something that can make me happy and can improve my health, like doing a yoga class or going to the gym, it's even better. If going to the gym doesn't make me happy, I do something that makes me happy, and then I go to the gym. So if every day you do like something for others, something for yourself, something for your health, and something for your financial, it's not a bad day.
Ticked all the boxes.
Yes, you kind of did what you have to. So you can sleep at night and
accomplished.
Be great. Exactly, you be grateful for whatever happened, good or bad, and then next day you try again to do little, like different with different people, with different project, with different things.
Awesome.
But it's hard to maintain it. That's the
consistency.
Real deal. Consistency is hard. Discipline is hard. Still, even if you're not perfect, still you have to do. If one day you cannot do 2 things, try to do at least the 2 others. See, if you feel sick and lazy and whatever, try to spend time with family. If you are busy with like one thing, try to focus on the next project. So you allocate your time in a smart way. Or if something doesn't make sense today for you, just go get a massage, or go for a walk, or go swim.
It's so funny you mentioned massage. So like I've been looking for someone to help me to get to the next level of my business for maybe the last few months. Been trying to work out who it's supposed to be. And I was getting a massage on Saturday, and it came to me, and it was a friend of mine. I was like, fuck. I was like, why have I not thought of this before?
You see?
But it's when your body goes into a relaxed state, you can just think clearly.
Come to my yoga class.
Yeah.
You'll see
I'll come.
every time, everyone who's leaving the class.
The people want to see a video of that. I'm like, stiff like the world.
Yeah, I mean, I have bodybuilder. I have like powerlifter coming to the class. I have athletes. I have businessmen. It doesn't matter. At the end of the class, you learn something about yourself, not because of me. I'm teaching them. Yeah. It's because
I've done
of
yoga
practice.
before a couple of times. Not like it's sounding good, but
honestly, my yoga is different. My approach of yoga is really fun. It's fun. Okay. We have fun in the class. Yeah, I teach in Burj Arab every Sunday. So we are in the 18th floor. We have the best view in the world, really, and good people in the class. You actually can do good networking as well. You learn something about yourself, about your limitations, so you improve yourself, and after the class, whatever class it is, you feel good. You just feel good. And this is already good enough to do something.
100%. Big thank you for your time today. Where's the best place for people to find out more about you, books, and some of the other stuff you do?
Yeah, I guess Instagram is my main point of contact.
Yep. I'll drop that in the show notes.
Yeah, you can send me a DM. I check my requests quite often, so I'm trying not to skip anything. My website as well, when you can find the book. You can find the book pretty much everywhere as well, here in Dubai, or online as well. I invite everyone to try yoga, really. Not for just the hype of doing yoga, because now it's fancy to do yoga. Maybe it will not be in 2 years, but just for what they can learn about themselves, really. No. So that's the main thing. And if I want to sum up just our conversation, the main thing that I've learned through my experience, either as a businessman or as a yoga teacher or now as a yogipreneur, it's to explore life, to explore yourself, to explore your possibilities, and don't wait for any reward. Don't expect anything. Just do what you like, do what you do best. Find your gifts. We all have one. And enjoy the process. Because life is short.
I agree, 100%. Big thing. So everyone enjoy the podcast. Make sure you smash the like button. Drop a comment below. Any questions below. I'll find a video of me doing yoga at some point soon with you.
Allaoua yoga.
Yeah.
See you soon, guys.
I'll be there. Make sure you subscribe and see you next podcast episode soon. Thank you, dude.
Thank you, brother.
That's good. Yeah, I'll definitely.